there has been an absolutely major announcement for Dragon Ball just 3 hours ago, this morning, out of nowhere, really, not expected, of any Dragon Ball game. We are getting a Fighter Z announcement. Now, I have said in the past, this is my favorite Dragon Ball game. I think this is the best Dragon Ball game, the highest quality. And, while I may not have the most characters like the other games, each character has so much attention. The graphics are superior to any other game, in my opinion. The content of the game, the gameplay is the best out of any Dragon Ball game, in my opinion. So it is major news that it seems we're getting an update. Allow me to full screen and let's watch the news together. Of course, Android 21 were the most iconic additions to the franchise coming from Fighter Z. But we can see core gameplay elements are being updated, as long as every character being updated in terms of balance and addition to this new mechanic, which is pretty major. That means this is a huge update for this game, balancing every character, but this is the biggest. A new playable fighter is joining Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku is joining Fighter Z. This is a major update. We have not had a new playable character in Fighter Z since February 24th, 2022. That was the last time we got a new playable character, and that was Android 21's lab coat variation. But you could argue that this is mostly a clone character of the already existing Android 21, and it is made with pre-existing assets since they already had the model for Android 21's lab coat, outfit and rendition. You could argue that the actual last new character was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and that was where the end of Fighter Z really started, because after that was only Android 21's lab coat design, and everything after that was pretty much bug fixes, rollback, netcode update, major balance changes. So we have not gotten an update. It is right now it is October 11th, 2025. It's been arguably 4 years since the last completely new character, and 3 years since the last character period. And it's been over a year since our last update. So our last balance change, which we thought would be the final one to send to spend Fighter Z out the door. So we've been on radio silence for a year. So this is a very sudden, surprising, and happy update, since it really proves the Dragon Ball franchise is alive and well. Arc System Works, the developers of Fighter Z, are working on like 4 different games at the same time, right? They got 2 XKO, they got Guilty Gear Strive, they got Marvel Tokon, and they're still working on Fighter Z, which it's great that Fighter Z has that staying power, that mobility, and everyone is hoping that this is a vehicle to more. Hopefully we can get more Fighter Z characters, because, of course, Xenoverse, Kakarot, Sparking Zero, it's great to see them get updates. People really want more Sparking Zero updates. But the thing is, they are not traditionally fantastic games like Fighter Z is. Fighter Z has a quality that is unmet by those games, or those games are mostly fan service. They don't have the depth of gameplay that Fighter Z has. So to see updates for Fighter Z, which has expanded Dragon Ball's reach, because while Xenoverse and Sparking Zero are popular within the Dragon Ball fan base, Fighter Z is popular in the fighting game fan base, and the gaming sphere outside of just looking for fan service. I know YouTubers who publicize Fighterz who have never watched Dragon Ball in their life. So having updates for this fantastic game is a breath of fresh air, a happy note for should be all Dragon Ball fans, and I advise everyone this is your time to get on. And we could see people are fantasizing more characters that could be added. So, for example, Abdul Adas here says Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 from Daima, and then, of course, Gohan, Beast, and Orange Piccolo from Dragon Ball Superhero. Completely makes sense. The imagination can go wild for who could be added to Fighterz now, because Fighterz characters are not just let's add everyone. They are the characters that get added get so much focus, love, and attention, where they are the supreme edition of those characters. You will not see a better rendition of the characters that are in Fighterz anywhere else but Fighterz. So getting potentially more than an already great character in Daima, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but potentially getting characters like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Orange Piccolo, Topo, Super 17, Omega Shenron. So many people are getting their ideas out there, and it's clear Fighterz has a longer life cycle in potential than just this one new character, which is a great new character, by the way. Daima Goku, it's so obvious to get a Daima character into Fighterz because obviously Daima's way after Fighterz came out. So it's great to get an update with a character like this who has a different design than Super Saiyan 4 Goku is not actually in Dragon Ball Fighterz. We have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and we have GT Goku, but GT Goku is mostly in his child form. He doesn't actually turn... You don't play as Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he just turns into him for moves and stuff. So this is pretty unique for Fighterz, and it allows us to play as Super Saiyan 4 Goku without having both GT Goku and then GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So, of course, in my opinion, this is a great addition, and I'm happy to see my favorite Dragon Ball game get updates. And I know a lot of people are going to be mad saying it's my favorite, and I feel that is mostly due to nostalgia bias, but I'll forgive it. If we look, there's already fan art being made. This artist churned out this fan art in like an hour of Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. This is probably old fan art from when Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku wasn't revealed, but here we have a controversial one. Sparking Zero was so ass they revived Fighterz. Now, I'm kind of a defender of Sparking Zero. I think it was a fun game, but if we're looking at quality, I think Fighterz has more of a fan base than Sparking Zero, because Sparking Zero is just more of a fan service game, while Fighterz is more in-depth game. The mechanics of the game are more in-depth. Every character has more unique movesets, unique combos. You know, you won't see recycled animations constantly through it. And of course, the funniest part is that Fighterz is kind of outside of Dragon Ball circles, and even in Dragon Ball circles, memed on because they have so many Gokus, which is something with every Dragon Ball game these days. But yeah, it is funny that after all this time, the character they add is another Goku. But it doesn't make sense when you look at Daima, how it was Toriyama's last hurrah, how Super Saiyan 4 Goku had such an impact in Daima, and arguably could be the best part of Daima. And yes, another Goku joke. Fighterz got Daima before Dokkan. So that's kind of another thing. The mobile games exist to be the easy fan service, like quick put in the characters right away. So Fighterz getting this attention is kind of good for the fans, because we don't have to rely on like cheap mobile games to gotcha try to get the stuff we want to see. We can get it in Fighterz. Just purchase it and play it right away and get this in-depth experience. So yeah, it's great to see Fighterz being revived, getting a new reflect mechanic. I mean, I love parries in games. We all know Daigo parry. We all You know, if you've played Smash Bros, if you've played Street Fighter, you understand how fun the parries are. Of course, I got one more into me, Fighter Z. So yeah, this is a major update. Every character being balanced. The inclusion of Z Reflect, and of course, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So it's a the state of balance in Fighter Z has actually been controversial since the last balance patch. So it's great to see that they are working to improve that and hopefully leaving Dragon Ball Fighter Z in the best state it could be. See, Dragon Ball Breakers died to bring back Fighter Z, and I liked Breakers a lot, but that was another game that updates kind of ruined the enjoyment of it. And I think Fighter Z, it's going to show that continuous updates can show that we will continue supporting the franchise, continue supporting the game, and let's revive it. It deserves the attention. So yes, after 4 years, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is back, and I could not be happier. So let me know your opinions, your thoughts. If you want any other Dragon Ball games to get this much attention again, and if you think there's any that can match Fighter Z, what are you excited for Fighter Z? What is your dream comeback season pass for Fighter Z? There's so many ideas and questions you could have for this. So please let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And subscribe for more content because I'll be keeping up with the Fighter Z updates. Thanks for watching.